Hey everyone! In today's video, I'm so excited to be doing something a little bit more tactile, traditional, and I'm going to be reviewing the Mossery and Sibylline art kit. I've wanted to try it for such a long time. I absolutely love Sibylline. I have been her patron for a couple of years now. Her work is so inspiring. It's up in my walls. I think it inspires a lot of artists, even that don't have a similar style to her. She's just such a magical and creative person. But this art kit is a kit that features acrylic gouache. I've never used acrylic gouache before. I thought it was going to be very similar to regular gouache, and let me tell you, it was not. You can go to the actual art kit in the description if you want to check out what it includes. I don't really want to state everything out, but it has paints, brushes, a pencil with graphite, 2 sketchbooks, one that is just the Mossery sketchbook personalized with one of, I think, 3 designs that you can choose from that has their regular watercolor paper, and then the second sketchbook, crazily enough, is like a practice workbook. You also get a collection of cards, prints, and stickers from Sibylline that are all so beautiful. They're very similar to just her Patreon rewards that I get in the mail monthly, so I'm just so excited to have more of her work as inspiration, and I just love her. I am so pumped to be trying this out. This kit has just been updated to include the 2022 calendar. It has been included in the new price, which is $199 USD. Now, this price can be pretty high for you or pretty reasonable and decent for you depending on the way that you look at it. So this workbook that Sibylline includes has so much thought put into it, and if you're a beginner artist or somebody who's new to acrylic gouache, this art book is so useful, this practice book. She writes down her step-by-step process of how she uses acrylic gouache, as well as having these printed sketches in the workbook with the same paper that the watercolor sketchbooks have, so that you can try out your hand at the process, at the paints, and understand them before you start painting your own original pieces. Since I've never painted with acrylic gouache before, I wanted to try out the workbook, and I didn't follow along with her color palette and her instructions just because I do have an established style and I'm not looking to copy her style. However, I can see if you are a beginner or you have a similar style to her, it would be so useful to know how she specifically mixes her paints, how she, layers and creates her work. I went into this skull painting just with my own techniques, with my own skills, and I love the difference between our 2 final paintings. I think they look, obviously so different. We have very different styles, but it's fun to see how we both utilize the same medium and materials to create vastly different pieces with our styles. I think it's really cool. So as I've been working on my own book, trying to explain digital painting, looking through this workbook, I could see how much work that she put into this workbook so that it could be the most useful possible for beginners and people that are just starting out with acrylic gouache. I came in fully prepared to bring my own brushes. I thought that the kit would just include 1 sketchbook and the paints, and I was definitely so wrong. The brushes included in this kit are genuinely, they're just genius. They work so well with these paints and with this sketchbook, and I've used them independently from this whole sketchbook and acrylic gouache because they are so good. They're so fine, high quality, and just brushes that will carry you through any painting process, not just for this medium. I've reviewed Mossery once in the past, a long time ago, and I believe I mentioned, I could be wrong, I'm not going to rewatch that video. I hate rewatching old videos of myself. I think they're so cringy. But I think I had mentioned that one of the qualms I had with the sketchbook was the fact that as a left-handed person, the spiral bound was a little bit awkward to use, and I was hoping they would make a left-handed version or make the paper on the left-handed side the same as the one on the right-handed side. And I could completely be mistaken or just saying things that are definitely not true, but I feel like the paper has improved in that sense, where the back side of the paper, the sides that, when you flip it over, it's on the left. I feel like, again, I could be wrong, that side of the paper has improved and is exactly the same texture as the right side. If there's a difference in texture, it's so minimal. But that was a reason that I wasn't very attracted to using my Mossery sketchbook before. Not that I didn't like the paper. It's just that as a left-handed person, the spiral bound is really inconvenient. So I was just fully expecting for this sketchbook to flip it around, like turn it over so that I was using it backwards. But no, I think that the left-handed side, the paper, is, you know, this exact same texture as the right. So personally, as a left-handed artist, I appreciate that thought and that change in the sketchbooks. The spiral bound is convenient for, you know, staying flat, but would get in the way of my wrist since this sketchbook is so small and you can't really fold it backwards because of the cover. Let's talk about the color selection for the acrylic gouache that Sibylline selected. First off, when I was putting down the colors for my character's face, I was fully expecting them to be a medium to medium deep skin tone. Nope, she's so fair. So that just says volumes about how traditional color mixing and color theory is such a trial and error process. That's, I guess, what a sketchbook is all about, and what learning and understanding the painting process and how traditional media acts, that's what it's all about. But I didn't have difficulty using the colors in this piece, but I do want to talk about them. They're very specific. They're very much Sibylline style. They're very 70s. There's a lot of teals and oranges, not a selection of purples or just cooler tones, cooler blues, indigos. Colors that I usually really reach for, colors that I think are staples in my painting process, are indigos, burnt siennas, and purples and pinks. And this kit is on the warmer side, and so using these colors, I had to adjust myself to Sibylline's color palette. That can go either way for you depending on what you're looking for in these art supplies. If you're a full-fledged beginner and have absolutely no understanding of color theory, I mean, honestly, this could work both ways for you. You could really enjoy this color palette because you're not going to have to play around with so many colors to find out what you like. You can try something out that you know works, and the colors that in this kit, the colors are all going to work together. They're curated, and so you can learn not color theory, but how to put colors together in a pleasing manner with this kit. However, if you're trying to learn color theory, I don't think that the paints in this kit are going to be for you. It really depends where you are. If you want a curated color palette and theme, this kit definitely is that. If you're looking for more classic neutral shades or shades that are a little bit more flexible in creating multiple different types of palettes, this is probably not going to be for you. Personally, I didn't even know how I was going to like acrylic gouache. I thought it was going to be so similar to regular gouache, and I was completely wrong. It is so much nicer. And these Holbein paints are absolutely amazing. They're splendid. I loved using them so much. It was such an easy process, easy learning curve for me personally, and so I would definitely recommend them for you. Let's talk about if this video is sponsored. I guess it's technically sponsored. I've never called a video that's just been gifted to me sponsored, but I received this kit to try out, and in return they just wanted me to make a video about it with my honest review. So to me, that's a review. It might be technically a sponsorship. I wanted to fully disclose that for you, and with the code in the description, I will be making a tiny commission if you purchase this kit. If you don't want to be using my link to give me that commission, that is totally fine. Just look up this art kit in your own tab. You do not have to feel the need to use my link if it makes you uncomfortable. That being said, this is still my honest review. Let's get back to this painting process. For the overall experience, I think that this kit has been so well put together. I think it's not a necessity for your art kit, or it's not something that's like a classic kit that's very versatile. It's curated, and if that's something that you want, this kit is exceptional. So keep that in mind. This would be a wonderful gift, anniversary, birthday, Christmas, nice treat yourself gift. If you think that you like the colors, if you think you enjoy the look of this, or that you already like acrylic gouache, you've tried it once or twice, or you have a couple of paints that are not in this set, and this has intrigued you, I definitely recommend it. I think it is such high quality and has so much thought put into it, especially if you want to see the workbook and see how Sibylline talks through her process. That could be immensely useful for you. If you like the look of these paints but don't enjoy the color palette, I might honestly just pass on this kit because the color palette is so curated and specific. It was something that it wasn't difficult for me to use, but I had to adjust to it, which means that if colors are something that stand out in your own personal style, then this might just not be curated for yourself. Really depends on what your needs are, but I very much enjoyed using these specific colors. I was in a sense pushed out of my comfort zone, but also the decision was super easy because I had a beautiful curated color palette to use and work with. So I think that the end result is very cute and pleasing. I love it. It was a joy to paint and I loved using these paints. The brushes included in this kit are absolutely amazing. I haven't even talked about the sketchbook other than the left-handed, right-handed side. I love the thickness of this paper, and I think these art supplies all work together beautifully to create a smooth piece. The paper, while having a sort of a cold pressed texture, I believe they're cold pressed, correct me if I'm wrong, it still handles the acrylic gouache really smoothly and beautifully, and the gouache comes out super opaque on this paper, so it handles it very well and doesn't buckle under the amount of water that you put on the paper that I've noticed. I don't know if I was using large washes on this paper just with watercolor if the paper would buckle. That being said, I just thoroughly enjoyed this painting experience. The black in this was so rich and pigmented too. I was literally in awe and in shock. The opacity of these paints is amazing. Being able to paint the gold chain or the little green stems in coming out onto the black background was just so satisfying because I haven't found a lot of opaque paints, especially if you use watercolors and you have quote-unquote opaque watercolors. You'll know how hard it is to get that bright color on a black background. That's not how watercolors work. You go from light to dark, not layering on dark with light. I will have everything linked down in the description, the kit and my coupon code for you. The coupon is only good on this particular product. It's a one-time use only and only available for this product on the website, just so you know. But I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you like the process, if you like the color palette and what I came up with, and if you want to see more traditional pieces, let me know because I love painting traditionally and I hate staring at a screen 24/7. It's not a vibe. So if you want to see more traditional art pieces, please let me know. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It would truly help me out. And click the subscribe button to see more videos because I put them out pretty regularly. You can hit that notification bell to keep up to date with me. But other than that, thank you so much for being here, for watching this. Hopefully this was useful for you, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!